Yeah. Bro, some of the most broken units in Anime Vanguards are about to be gone. Actually removed from the game. Alright, if you don't have these yet, you're pretty much cooked. So Anime Vanguards just confirmed that some of these limited units are getting removed. And I'm not gonna lie, some of these are absolutely cracked. We're talking about Ice Queen, Demon Leader, and Armored Mage. We're all in the talking points of this discussion. Some of these are staying, of course, like Bounty Hunter and, of course, the money units. Rukia is on the bar as to whether she's staying or leaving as another obtainable unit. So stick around, because I'm going to tell you exactly which ones you need to grab out of these. Alright, first up, this one is absolutely disgusting. Makima. Her damage says only 263,000 damage, but she can actually get up to 1,250,000 off a base placement if you have a Chainsaw Man team.
You're full of shit.
She leeches off of her teammates and becomes super powerful while buffing them after leeching them for 1 round. But if you have a non-Chainsaw Man team, unfortunately it's only 1 million damage on placement. And of course, when you max her out, if she has a full Chainsaw Man team, she gets 4 mil, if not 3. And guess what? She can continuously raise her damage and then proceed to deal 1,000% of her total damage. So she does her damage and plus 1,000% on top to a single enemy in range. It does kill an enemy nearby, but if you're doing anything like a challenge, a raid, or anything of the such or sort, insane. Alright, okay, but the next one absolutely broke me. I was not expecting these numbers, not from such a unit. We have Ice Queen.
Hey, Ichigo!
What the heck? What are you doing in there?
Alright, now Ice Queen, she doesn't do that much damage at the start, so you're like, why is he recommending her? Frozen World. If you have 3 of her placed down, okay, 3, not 1, not 2, but 3, with her Memoria, which I have it with Divinity, which is absolutely disgusting as well, she re-triggers her own, how do I put this? As you can see, anytime her ult is used, it re-triggers, and that means you can re-trigger up to 3 times. So she does it once herself, then that one unit that uses is also able to re-trigger it somehow, because what happens is she does it, then the one next to it does it, which then causes her to do it again and her teammate to do it again, which is 4. I was wrong. It's not 3, it's 4 of her ultimates, of her absolute zeros. Okay, now she has power assist where she automatically attacks while being in inventory without being placed, which means you can focus on placing other units and place her last. So she has 10,000 to place. All right, now for this absolute urgent needed character for any storyline, infinite, challenge, or raid, I recommend getting Zoro. Yes, Zoro, otherwise known as Bounty Hunter 3-Sword, alright, is absolutely insane. He's one of the best bleed units and highest damage units you will ever see. Alright, now you probably want to see all these in action, but as you can see, 50% damage, right? Anyway, go grab these before they're gone, but if you want to stick around and see the showcases, let's go. Like you thought, I missed the most overpowered unit. But none of those units matter in comparison to this. This unit makes every single one of them look like an absolute joke. A threat is approaching? Look at me stutter in fear. This absolute unit called Armored Mage, right? Yeah, you thought I would miss it. You saw it in my inventory like, wait a minute, what is that? What is that? It is the ultimate buffer. Okay, it is the ultimate buffer. This is not a joke. It has the ability to buff a unit by 20% damage and reduce cost by 10%. You're probably thinking, that's pathetic. You can place 3 of her and stack the buffs. She also does dots and can swap between her armor, so you can turn into a bleed unit if you need damage. Look at these absolute insane passives. I've already done a showcase, so I'm not going to cover the passives on these. Anyway, before we get any further, let's get some money. Now to show you the units in action. All right, so we'll leave one of these guys at the back, obviously, to defend because we can't have them escaping. All right, so let's have a look. So we've got Requiem, which we're obviously gonna just put him on Vanguard. Yeah, put him on Vanguard. Now, look, the only thing you're actually gonna use on her the whole time that she exists is Vanguard, and the reason I say this is because, well, she's a buff. She's known as the world's best buffer unit for a reason that can apply bleed for no reason. She just does dots. And the Memoria I put on her, absolutely pick because it's her own. With a sexy Contagious, which buffs dot damage by 30%. All right, Zoro, you're not supposed to be letting him get this far. It's genuinely terrifying. We're gonna place another Zoro there. Right now, Zoro, you're probably thinking, oh, he exists. Yes, you're right, he exists. But have a look at this insane passive. Deals 100% more damage to enemies inflicted with wanted attack. And the attacks apply bleed for 50% damage for 10 seconds. 10-second bleed at 50% is insane. If an enemy in range heals, this unit damages them for 100% of the damage more. So healing units with regen, they always select the regeneration modifier when using them. Trust me. Anytime an ally in range is afflicted with a status debuff or status, which by the way, if you use irons with them, absolutely insane. Yeah, it is applied to this unit instead. This unit reduces the value of that status debuff by half, which, I mean, in some satisfactions, it'll be good because he just gets the buff and irons would remove the status effect off of him. So, yeah. Anyway, as you upgrade him, he gets a narrow kind of like line with high damage increase. He's not even Monarch, by the way. So if you got him a Monarch, it would be insane. And then he goes to full AoE. And you're probably like, is that all? No, he goes back to his line, so he is in the end a channel. And as you can see, 200k damage with cheap upgrading capabilities. Absolutely insane. Now, ignore my Rukia, who just appeared and said, I'm joining this showcase. All right. But next, we're going to use an absolute insane unit, okay? Now, we're going to have to skip to when she finishes buffing herself, but as you can see here, Makima. She just gave herself a 250%, and you're like, Mushroom, he told us she hits 1.25 mil. Well, I don't have a Chainsaw Man tape, so she's only going to hit 1 mil, and you're like, well, how's that happening? Yeah, she's consistently buffing herself. See how she's continuously buffing herself? Well, Yes, she's actually going to exceed because she got a buff. Yes, because her 1 million was enough. I've just read, he got another buff. Okay, let's upgrade her. As we see, bang, she gets a full line of attack. So you have 600 HP, so that is not legal. But line attacks aren't enough for us. As we continue to upgrade her, she goes into a circle, which counts as a full AoE. And it counts as full AoE in her body thingy, because when a unit like this one applies bleed, she automatically attacks them without affecting her SPA, which means it's just a free attack. Now, as we continue, she gets Control Say This Name, which will randomly delete it and, gives 1000%. Pretty cool, pretty sick. Now, you don't get to pick the unit, so look, I'm going to use it, and it's going to delete my Zoro. Oh, no. You took away my buffer unit. No. Well, actually, I'm pretty happy I get to keep my Zoro. Now, next. And remember, these are with the buffers, so just remove 20% of the damage and range. But otherwise, yeah, pretty insane. Now she would be at 4 mil, of course, but since a unit got deleted, she lost that. And pretty much she sacrifices a bit of her damage, technically, to apply the bleed. But either way, she gets like a half a dome of attack range, so it's pretty worth it to use that move if you're struggling. Now for Rukia. Rukia is not full AoE, which is pretty funny, but when you place her past wave 10, this is her absolute zero ultimate that she spams. Completely fair. Freezes everything, kills everything. The usual. Now you're probably wondering, what more could I do? Well, due to her passives, these guys get all buffs, including fire, in her field, so her with Escanor would actually be kind of good. But sadly, as you can see, there is nothing for our bleed damage. Now, if we continuously upgrade her, she goes to half a cone. Hold up, there we go, full AoE at 500,000 damage. As we continuously upgrade her past 1 million, she will eventually turn that into another cone, which, in my humble opinion, it is only worth it to upgrade her to full AoE damage, right? And we just had enough money, look at that. Because what this allows you to do is cover more of the map instead of just a cone. I mean, if you technically place her there, I mean, sure, but overall, pretty good. Now, I've used this in the Omni Tower. You can get past so many waves, especially if you have a full Monarch version of this team. But honestly, I just use it with Deadeye because it's just so much better for me with the crit rate, right? Now, yeah, that's kind of it. As you can imagine, the money theme, you've probably already seen them. They generate you money. All right, now Zoro, you can actually place 3 of them. So, 3 times this Count me in. Yeah. You do have to fully upgrade them, of course, they don't do it themselves. Alright, before I let you guys go, can you guys comment what units you recommend other people to get alongside this before they disappear? Alright guys, see ya.